Alright guys, in this video we're going to create your manual broadcast content outline. So this applies to basically everybody. Doesn't matter if you're doing traditional newsletter, automated newsletter. Actually, if you're doing an automated newsletter, then yeah, this doesn't apply to you. But not many people are just going to be doing automated. So everybody should be doing this. Regardless. I mean, I don't think that anybody is going to be doing an automated newsletter and just stopping altogether, because you'd be kind of foolish to do that. You would just you're missing out on all kinds of money. So just a few reminders here. These broadcasts, the manual broadcasts, first of all, I didn't put it on here, but I meant to, forgot. A reminder of what a manual broadcast email is. A manual broadcast email is physically going into your like a Weber account, queuing up creating an email and manually sending it out to your list. That's a manual broadcast email. These should not be sent to subscribers who are still going through your autoresponder sequence, because at that point they would be getting multiple emails a day. Because your autoresponder should be sending them one email per day anyways. You don't want to be sending them another one, because first of all, they're not expecting it. Second of all, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense because it doesn't align with, it's likely your manual broadcast email is not going to align with whatever the autoresponder sequence is about. So it's going to be the same topic, same type of niche, but it's not going to align in order, so to speak. So these should only be sent to people that have finished your autoresponder sequence, or if you're doing traditional, it's going to just be sent to everybody. Well, I say everybody, but one thing that, again, you got to have to kind of think about, this is just for traditional newsletter people here. People that have just getting added to your list today, they got an email from you, a welcome email, to get whatever the download or access to whatever the bribe was. You don't want to immediately send them another email. So when we get into the setup process here, I think that in the next couple modules, I'll show you how to delay that so that that you can kind of guarantee that you're only going to send one email per day. Even if people got on the list today, they're just not going to get the broadcast that day, the manual one. Mailing frequency. So how often should you be sending manual broadcast emails? The minimum, absolute bare minimum, is one email a week. If you do not send one email a week, they will completely forget who you are. You cannot successfully or profitably run one of these businesses sending emails less than once a week. You just can't do it. There's just no way. They're going to forget who you are, or they're going to lose any kind of, kind of like that the new love, like a new relationship type feeling, is going to go out the window very quickly. Over a week's time, a lot happens in a week. How many emails do you get a day? Multiply that times 7. That's how many emails that they're going to get before they get another email from you. So personally, my recommendation is to do one email a day. I know guys that send 3 and 4 emails a day to their list. There is no right or wrong. There are different scenarios for your type of business and how you're monetizing it, and whether or not the guys that are mailing 3 or 4 times a day are guys that are putting hundreds of people onto their list every day, hundreds of new people onto their list every day, and they don't care if they lose hundreds of old people from the list because they're mailing too often. So it's a happy balanced medium type thing, meaning you got to know your niche, what they're expecting, and what you told them to expect. Personally, I stick to one email a day. First of all, I'm lazy, so I don't want to have to go in and queue up a bunch of emails in multiple businesses. And if I have, depending on which niches it is, I mean, I have some VAs that are managing a couple of the other ones that, they do it for me, but I still only do one email a day because it's just a good number to stick to. Not many people have the opportunity to even check their email, all throughout the day. So if they try to log in at night and end up seeing that you've sent 2 or 3 emails, they'll be like, man, this guy is just, a little over the top. So one email a day is just a good, good benchmark. Another thing is to don't repeat autoresponder content. So whatever you have going in your autoresponder, whatever that content is, the topics in those emails, don't repeat that stuff because it's going to be confusing to people who have been through the sequence recently and maybe just finished the day before, and then the next day they get an email about something that you just sent 2 days ago to them. It's going to cause like massive confusion and likely a lot of unsubscribes. One thing to also keep in mind is to kind of leave some flexibility in your schedule each week and keep like one slot open for like a promo email, because you just never know. There could be new things that pop up in the middle of the week or the beginning of the week after you've already created your content calendar here. You just want to have that flexibility. Worst case is you can just push your emails ahead and fill that slot, but it's a good idea to just keep a slot open and start creating your outline for the next week like a day or two before this current week is over. So here we go. What you're doing this lesson, your homework before you move on, is to create the outline for your manual broadcasts for the first week, the entire first week. So you got 7 days. You really got 6 that you need to create. Like I said, even the first week, keep a slot open. It just kind of gives you some flexibility there. I was going to mention something that popped in my head when I was talking right there and forgot. It'll come back to me. So for to try and figure out like what you want to send. Like, again, do you want to avoid sitting down at the computer staring at a white screen and a flashing cursor? So you got to think about what got people onto your list, and the different milestones, and what is it that they want. Go back, reference your research, look for different ideas for topics. Only put one topic per email. I cannot stress this enough, guys. You cannot put, this is not unless you are just doing a traditional newsletter where literally the purpose of the newsletter is to curate a bunch of other news, then you should not be putting multiple topics in one email. One example of an exception here is Justin Brook from adskills.com has a free email newsletter called Traffic Tips for Busy People. Goes out every Sunday evening. I've been subscribed to it for a long time. Inside of it, it's literally just like 5 to 7, maybe 8 like blurbs from good articles that he has found like the previous week. That's the only way that you should ever be putting more than one topic inside of an email, because you got to think about the person who is opening the email. Why are they opening the email? Because of the subject line. So if somebody opens the email because of a subject line and then they find like 3 different topics in there, you are never going to get them to take the one action you want them to take, because you're giving them too many options. So I'm saying the only way that ever works is if you're doing like a curated collection newsletter of a bunch of different things, a bunch of different topics, which like Justin does. His subject line is literally just traffic tips for busy people. That's it. Like, you open the email to look at all of those different topics. That is the purpose of the newsletter. That's the only exception to that rule is you should always only have one topic per email. Another thing is to try and use some different angles than what you use in your autoresponder sequence. So it's going to be very, very likely that a good percentage of the people who are receiving manual broadcasts did not convert and did not purchase whatever it was you wanted to sell them. So to continue to try and do that, you got to start using some different angles. Think outside the box a little bit and try and figure out why they didn't buy. Maybe you didn't hit all the objections or whatever. So it's still not the same content as the autoresponder, but it's hitting the same, really the same core desire or why they're on the email list. So what I actually started to just do this, and I was going to list them all in this slideshow, but I'm thinking, well, it'd probably be a good idea for them to see how I'm actually doing it, right? So, so what I'm going to do is I just got a text file here for right now. This is all you need to get started. Eventually, you might want to actually use like a spreadsheet and possibly even a project management type tool online, especially if you're doing more than one email newsletter like I am. It gets very confusing very quickly as to what you should send when and where and what topics. So for right now, keep it simple, focus on this one. Just do a blank text file like I have here. I got 7 days listed out. Now what I want to do is go out and find topics to use for these first technically 6 days. I'm going to leave one open. So what I did was, I just went right to just naturally kind of thinking, what would I do? How would I figure this out? I know why the people are on the list. I know what they wanted when they got on the list. What else could I give them that they would be interested in? So went over to SEMrush. You can just use Ubersuggest as well if you want to. It's free. And I just typed in beach vacation. What I want to do is figure out what else are people searching for related to beach vacations. To this point, all I've given them is a guide on the best beach vacations. So what else would pique their interest enough to get them to open the email? That's the purpose of sending these broadcast emails, is to get them to open the email, because you want them to look at the ads inside, click on them, buy potentially whatever it is that the ad is promoting. You can't do that if you first don't get them to open the email. So it's got to be a topic that will interest the majority of the people on your list. So, and that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're watching this video down the road and you have multiple bribes that you're offering on different types of things, and they're all feeding into your main manual broadcast email newsletter, then you have to think overall, what content can I send that's going to apply to everybody, that it's going to interest everybody based on all of these different types of interests. So it's just a lot easier if you're doing this from the start. Pick one bribe and then get started with manual broadcasts. It's just one of those things that you got to start forming the habit of doing this. I do it once a week, every week, for all of the businesses at one time. Myself, are going to start with one, so it's going to be super easy. Shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes a week to do this type of research. So I just went here, typed beach vacation, just to see, based on monthly search volumes, what are people typing in? What are they looking for? So I want to kind of stay away from location-specific ones, because I'm going to get people interested in all different types of vacations. I don't want to just limit it to one location. So the first one that I come across here are, really beach vacation rentals. So that actually could be a good one if you do kind of think of the old MTV show Cribs. I could do, let's do, we'll do 3. I'm trying to write copy at the same time, and you don't need to write copy. This is just this is just for you. So when you sit down to create each email, that's when you try and think of angles to use. And I'm kind of when I do it myself, I try to do kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and write the subject lines and just the topic, put the topic in there at the same time, but you don't need to do that. So I'll do beach vacation rentals, and then kind of a note to myself. Kind of like a list post of MTV Cribs style rentals. So kind of like almost just an entertainment type thing. Not a, when you put them in here like this, you don't have to put that one first. You can move it way to the end. It's really just a place to keep your ideas. So the next one is cheap beach vacations, which I know for a fact will get people to open the email. So cheap beach vacations. And again, I'm going to add, like, this isn't going to be the final subject line. This is just the idea, like the topic, the title of the topic, not really the title, but the topic of the content. I will come in, and when I create each email, that's when the copy part of it will happen. We're at here, day 3. So, best beach vacations. What else we got? Beach vacation packing list. That's not really something that I'm going to do a manual broadcast about. That would be more along the lines of the autoresponder, because it's got to hit them at the right exact time. Best family beach vacations is a good one. Best family beach vacations. Florida. There's another family one. U.S. beach vacations. That's not, U.S. beach vacations is pretty generic. I mean, I'm gonna just target people from the U.S. anyways, but that's not a good enough topic. Beach vacation dresses. I'm gonna put that down because the majority of the people that I will likely attract are going to be women. And first of all, they like looking. I'm making assumptions right here, but I would think that they enjoy just looking at stuff, kind of like a magazine type of thing, and in seeing dresses and kind of browsing / shopping might be of interest. That's like the cool thing about the doing manual broadcasts is you get to like just test stuff. Like there's not really a lot of pressure to make tons of money every single email you send. You get to feel out what people like and what they don't like, and you make a note of that for the future. All right, so I need 2 more here. Rentals, Florida. Yeah, a lot of it's going to be location based. Beach house vacation rentals. I want to change this one to that. I'm going to do beach house vacation rentals because that will lend itself better to a cribs style list post where I can just find some of the coolest beach house vacation rentals to put in there. All right, what I need, still need 2 more. Beach vacation packages. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to be just including those links to those in these newsletters because that's what I'm promoting. All-inclusive beach vacation deals. Oceanfront vacation. That's very specific. Alright. Kind of just hitting the same stuff over and over, which is fine. That was enough to get my kind of a spark going in my mind. I have a few other just ideas that I came up with. The other thing is like use magazines. So it was part of the research process. Same thing. Like I'm not ever going to run out of ideas for this, so I don't have to stick to just beach vacations in the U.S. I'm targeting U.S. people, but people will go everywhere. So like I eventually will go out and do like like best cold weather beach vacations for people that just like going to like Maine or something when it's like super cold and kind of a getaway, but stay inside kind of getaway where you look outside at the beach. So I'm gonna put that on there, like cold weather beach vacations. And then the one I was thinking of actually the other day was hidden I can't remember the word I was thinking, but I'm making the note that way. I already know what I want to do. I just have to come up with the right word. So hidden spots, hidden beach vacation spots, and then this one I will just leave open for promo. I'll save it. So once you that's your homework for this lesson. You gotta just use a text file, get 6 topics ready for your first week of manual broadcasts. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and move on to the next lesson.